Hey all stars, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking tips for looking chic in sneakers for fall 2025 because darling, your sneakers can actually be stylish, pulled together and very much on trend. So I picked up 3 fabulous pairs of sneakers that I cannot wait to share with you guys, and wait till you hear where I got them from. Drum roll please. Walmart. Yes, Walmart. So a portion of this video is a paid partnership with Walmart. And basically, we're going to break down why I chose these sneakers, how they fit into my wardrobe, and of course, how you can style them without even giving up comfort, because comfort and style go hand in hand in 2025. And then after that, we're going for a few meetups with the girls. I can't wait for you guys to see who I bumped into in Atlanta. A moment, and then we're gonna end the video with a fun little Q&A. So I asked you guys, what did you want to know about me? Because I feel like I haven't done a Q&A in a minute, and the questions were pretty interesting. I mean, I got everything from what do I feel about influencers paying their way or paying to get ahead or paying for followers and all that stuff, to what's harder, being married for almost 20 years or raising teenagers. So it gets a little juicy, so make sure you watch it all the way to the end. And I share my face beat. You guys know I don't like spending too much time on makeup, so I share how I actually do my makeup and get it flawless, and usually it takes between, I would say, maximum 30 minutes. So make sure you watch to the end. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, the all-white Skechers Street Highland Illuminated Neutrals. Style-wise, they are sleek, minimal, and versatile. The kind of sneaker that works with pretty much everything in your closet. Quality-wise, they've got that cushion sole on the inside, and they're pretty durable in terms of the build. But what makes them feel modern are the illuminated highlights. I personally just love that detail. I think it is subtle, but it adds enough detail that makes the shoes really stand out. I live for a crisp white sneaker because it instantly polishes any outfit. And to me, that is everything. It makes it feel very intentional without trying too hard. And I can't wait for you guys to see how I style these because it's tea. Clearly, I love this silhouette because I got them in black and off-white. I actually thought they were white, but it's more of an off-white, which I'm absolutely fine with. And if you know me, you already know this is my story. I live for all things black and white. So anything that kind of falls into that style category, it is a plus for me. All right, so they are bold, but they're classic, and they're still kind of sporty. The two-tone blend makes them versatile, but it also gives them a little bit of an edge, which I'm here for. Quality-wise, they're pretty much the same as the white one. Comfortable, great support, the cushion sole, solid construction, all the things we really want in a great pair of sneakers. You got them right here. These are going to look amazing with my black and white outfits, with my bags, because y'all know I have a lot of black and white bags, with my black and white Agile wallet, designed by me, of course. The possibilities are endless, but in addition to wearing them with black and white outfits, they will also look great with anything in the beige color story and in black. So the possibilities are endless with these ones. And yes, I've got a really fun outfit for you guys with these ones as well. And finally, we've got this pair. I mean, the Sage Skechers Women's Street Gusto Pat Winder. Style-wise, Sage is one of those earthy tones that just works. It's soft, it's subtle, and it's the perfect seasonal neutral, in my opinion. The touches of gray also blend in really well, but make it extremely easy to pair with other tones. So if you didn't know, gray is a great complementary color. Quality-wise, they're lightweight. They're also cushion and super flexible. Exactly what you want for everyday wear. So if you're like me and you want something that has a bit of color but still a great neutral every now and then, this is a great pair. And because the color is muted, they add personality without being too loud, and that's a win-win. I mean, darling. And now that you've seen my sneaker pics, it's time to style them. I'm going to show you exactly how to wear each pair so you can see how easy it is to make sneakers chic for fall. Let's get into it. First up, I styled the all-white sneakers with a dark gray and white pinstripe suit, layered over a simple white t-shirt. The suit is relaxed, the sneakers are clean, and together it just feels effortless but still elevated. This is an easy way to take tailoring and make it modern. Next, the black and off-white pair. I kept it simple with the dark blue denim, a white tee, and then I also added a statement necklace. Adding a blazer can really add a little bit of personality, especially if you throw it over the shoulder. These sneakers ground the look with contrast, giving it a relaxed outfit kind of vibe, but still very polished. And that's what we want in our looks for fall. And finally, the sage pair. I leaned into more of a relaxed out leisure travel vibe with the matching sweatshirt and crop pants, but I added the statement necklace to dress it up a little bit. The sage sneakers soften the look. Meeting the beautiful Octavia in real life.
I've been following her for years and I've never met you. And I'm like, I saw you from across the room and I'm like,
ditto. Right as I saw you come in, I'm like, oh my god, I know her.
It's so good to see you in real life. And she's so lovely. I mean, as I knew you would be.
Look who's talking. Like in real life, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous personality. Such a pleasure. I've told her she's gonna be my new friend in my head. So, oh, I'll take you to Avalon. Well, it's closer to me, but there's so many fun places. So yeah.
In Alberta.
Yeah.
I've been there once for breakfast.
Yeah, it's like 12 minutes from my house.
Okay, it's farther from me, but I'll drive.
Okay, good. So yeah, you come over to the house and everything. Yeah. This is my friend in my head for years now.
I've been following you for too long, Molly.
Same here. I feel like, did we start around the same time or you started before me?
I started after.
Yeah. But Sade, the owner, the designer, the creator extraordinaire of the chemist.
Thank you. What an introduction.
But it's true. You know, I don't lie.
Oh,
I don't lie. Can we have a moment? That your denim suit, man, what's it doing? That's when the Nigeria comes out of me. Y'all bring, how long are you guys here till?
Till Tuesday.
So Tuesday. Okay, so I can see you guys when I get back.
Yeah.
And I'll come when I get back. Yeah.
It's on Sunday and Monday. I'm sure it will be sold out by then, but
and put this aside for me now.
What size are you?
Small.
You need to try it.
Okay.
Because I didn't bring so much of everything. We bought so much, but not all like quantities of different things. But that is the most sought after gift.
Yeah. But that's the thing, the first time you wore it, when I saw it, I don't know if it was TikTok or whatever, I was just like, actually everything you've been bringing out, and I'm just like, I'm so proud because even though I am not touching and feeling, I can see the workmanship, I can see the quality of the fabric.
And we know you know quality, right?
Girl, honey, you know quality. So
if I get the monitor tick, I know I'm doing something
tick
right.
all the way.
I know I'm doing something right.
You are. So kudos. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy you get to have lunch.
Finally.
Right? Cheers. Okay, so let's wrap things up with a little Q&A. You guys sent me some amazing questions on Instagram, so I will answer the questions while I do my makeup for dinner. So the first question is, are you going to Atlanta Fashion Week this year? And the answer to that is yes, I will be going to Atlanta Fashion Week this year. I am very excited as it is going to be amazing. I am good friends with Angela, who has been doing this for years. I think longer than I've been a creator. You know, I've been supporting her, going to the events. It used to be at the Underground in Atlanta. And she's really done a lot. She's come a long way. The venues this year, everything, the designers. I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of what they've done and what she continues to achieve. Next question is, What are your favorite designer handbags? I always feel like that is actually a harder question for someone like me because I just love bags. I love bags. But if I would say a favorite, I would probably be referring to a favorite silhouette. So I guess the question would be, what are my favorite handbag silhouettes? And I would have to say that my favorite handbag silhouettes are definitely more classic, somewhat square-ish. If you've been following me or rocking with me for a while, you know I tend to gravitate towards a more top handle, very structured leather that is textured. As much as I love smooth leathers or lambskin, I ultimately prefer leather that is textured because it just has longevity. It wears better, it looks better in my opinion. It always stands the test of time. With anything in smooth leather, they tend to get nicked very easily. Lambskin tends to deflate after years. That's why you'll see some classic flaps that have deflated and they look a little off. But when you have more of a textured caviar, cowhide, anything that has texture, it has the tendency to kind of hold its shape and age very well. Okay, so the next question is, do you feel like influencers of color are still being sidelined in the fashion industry even when they have numbers and influence? Do I feel like it's still happening? Yes. I think that's very apparent when you look at campaigns and casting and the lack of diversity. Is this with every brand? Absolutely not. There are still a lot of great brand partners out there. There are a lot of great brands that continue to work with, women of color, with women of different sizes. And I think that's a good thing. Hi, Monica. When is the strap or the chain coming for the Agile wallet and how much will it cost? Well, I can tell you that it is in production. So stay tuned for that. Costs, I'm not sure just yet. I'm just trying to make sure I get it right. So right now we're having issues of just getting it exactly the way I want it to be. And I don't want to rush anything. I want to make sure everything I do is perfect. It comes out perfect. It fits my original plan. I don't want to settle for anything anymore. And I feel like a good majority of my life, I make things work. I make things work. I don't want to cause any commotion. I just want to make things work. But this time around with Welewa, I don't want to just make things work. I want to make sure everything is perfect. It's perfectly done. It's perfectly executed. Next question is, what's one luxury purchase you regret? Honestly, I feel like there are a lot of purchases that I kind of wish I didn't make those purchases. And I feel like I've shared a lot of that in my, what were those videos? I used to do these videos. I don't think I did one this year. What I wish I didn't buy, right? I would say, honestly, anything that is overly trendy. So I feel like we all did those, especially during like 2020, during COVID, when we were all shopping as if the world was coming to an end. And I won't lie, I probably jumped on everything that was trending. I actually bought, and which was very not like me, because I was up here on Beyonce's internet preaching how, only buy what you absolutely love. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I did mostly buy what I absolutely loved, but I bought a lot of what was trending and what all the girls were raving about. And for me, in my head, the reason why I was able to convince myself to keep all these things, even when I got things I didn't love, I just told myself, well, I can make it work. I can make it work. It was almost like a challenge. So yeah, I would say almost not anything that was overly trending during COVID is what I wish I didn't buy. Okay. This is a funny one. Do your kids actually think you're stylish, or do they just think you're embarrassing? What do you guys think? So, okay, and this is me being honest. I do believe that my kids think I'm stylish to an extent. I feel like I think my son thinks I'm stylish, very stylish, 1,000%. It's my daughter that, you know, I'm not sure. I know she thinks I'm very beautiful. You know, she thinks I'm this gorgeous person, which always makes me feel good. But every now and then she comes for my outfits. Like, she comes for me. And I'm just like, dude, like, yes, I'm happy you have an opinion, but don't get it twisted. I'm still your mother. You better watch how you talk to me, young lady. You know, every now and then she'd be like, mommy, that's cringe, or blah, blah, blah. Or every now and then too, she'll be like, mommy, you ate with that, you know? So, I get mixed reports from them. Ultimately, I tell her that, you know, this is my style. I'm not dressing for you, the young ones. I'm dressing for myself first and foremost. Well, technically, you know what? I do like to dress up so little girls can be like, yes, let me dress up and look my best, you know? But at the same time, I'm dressing for myself first and foremost. And I am not a 13-year-old girl, so I don't expect my style to appeal to her always, right? And vice versa, you know, but yeah, they definitely think every now and then that I'm a little embarrassing, for sure. Okay, so the next question, do you ever feel pressure to always look put together, even on off days? Honestly, I want to say no. But at the same time, I think I can say no. If I'm being honest, I think I can say no, because I know myself. When I don't feel like dressing up, I won't dress up, period. Like, when I want to be a bum, I will be a bum. And that happens every now and then. And of course, that, if I'm being honest, that only happens on the days where I just know I'm not going anywhere. Like, no matter what, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not leaving my house. And that happens. But even there's every now and then when I'm bummed out, or when I'm in that state of being like, I don't want to be bothered, I will still put on something cute, right? And I think I'm very intentional about my wardrobe. I don't buy things, even my casual things have to be cute. So no matter what's happening, or even on days where I feel like that's it, I'm off, I don't want to do anything, I still look good. I still look put together. So my big sister makes fun of me all the time. She'll, not make fun of me, but she points that out. Like, even when you're, just need to do a quick grocery run, you're put together. And it's just because I've lived by very simple, basic rules of just owning things that look great, putting on a fabulous caftan. Like, I have a lot of those boo-boos. You just throw one of those on, go to the grocery store, you look regal, right? And I have some very casual ones. So I pick certain things to go out in. So I don't really have like bum out t-shirts. Like, I only have dressier t-shirts. So even if I want to be like bummed in a t-shirt, that means I'm pairing it with a great pair of jeans, because I make sure all my jeans are great pairs of jeans. And then I would say I have maybe like one or two lounge pieces that maybe brands have sent to me that are probably what I would put on like after work. But even if I put on my great pair of slides with it and then a fabulous pair of sunglasses, I still look put together, So I think once you make dressing up a state of mind, or being put together a state of mind, you will never not look put together. Okay, next question. Do you ever feel like some influencers buy their way into opportunities instead of earning them? Y'all are shady. Who am I? I don't, you know, honestly, and this is like, no, well, I don't even think this is a shady answer. I honestly don't care. I don't care what other people are doing, what other influencers are doing to do whatever they need to do. That's on them. Like, that has nothing to do with me. I am that person that I focus on what I'm doing and keep it moving. Like, I have people who will, you know, come to me and tell me that, oh, this person bought followers, or this person did that, or that person did this, or, you know, how can you be friends with that person? I don't, honestly, I can say I don't care. And it's not that I don't care because I want to do that or whatever. I'm just like, you know what? People will do whatever they feel that they need to do to get to where they are. And that's just the reality of it. I am a realist. I like to accept reality for what it is. Not everybody's going to be ethical. Not everybody's going to do things the right way. And that's on them, and that's on their conscience to carry that around. Okay, so the next one is, it says, not a question, but to let you know I'm proud of you and how you represent us. Aw, thank you. That's nice. That's very nice. You know, I try to just be my authentic self. That's the fam. I try to be my authentic self. I try to make sure that, you know, my kids are old enough to be on social media, basically, you know, so, and they're watching. So, and I'm not going to be foolish. I'm not going to do anything silly, or, you know, I will always do my best to represent me first and foremost, and just the way I see myself in the world, and I will carry myself accordingly, right? So when you think highly of yourself, you will always enter spaces with that assurance and that, what's the word, confidence. So, you know, I didn't just land her yesterday. I've been doing this for so long, and I know how easy it is to, you know, portray women of color, especially Black women, in the media, in the spotlight. So for me, I will go with my head high. I am proud of myself. I am proud of what I've done, what I've achieved. 13 years in this space and still doing it. A lot of people who started content creation when I did are not here anymore. So that doesn't, you know, all of that, I remember that, like, as I continue to move forward and as I continue to build in this space. So, you know, and plus I have to make my all-stars proud. What is the real secret to almost 20 years of marriage? That's an interesting question. So we hit year 19 in July 21st to be exact, or is it 22nd? I can't remember. One of those days. We got married the day before my brother's birthday, and his birthday is, when is his birthday? The 21st. So was it the day before or after? I can't remember. Anywho, the day after, so the 22nd, if I'm correct. Don't let my husband see this. What is the secret? I would say ultimately it falls down to having the same values. You know, love comes and goes. It comes in waves. You have your moments. The friendship part too, right? You know, but if you guys have the same values and you're aligned, all of that just lines up, in my opinion, right? When S happens, and it does happen in every relationship, I think, do you guys have ultimately the same goals, right? Are you striving to build something together? Do you value the partnership, right? Our kids, our values will always align. And I think that's been a big deal for us. Have we had our issues? Many, many fights, many times I'm just like, I'm done. But it comes back to, what are we doing? Why are we here? And do we see ourselves with anyone else? You know? So that's kind of been, I think, the glue that helps us get through hard times, helps us get through hardships. My sister always makes fun of me and says, you know, you guys don't have normal problems like everyone else. We don't fight about money. He lets me spend my money, and, you know, he does his thing, and we don't complain about that. We trust each other enough to know that we're going to be responsible every time. Right. So we don't fight about money. We don't fight about, you know, other people in relationships or whatever. So I think the thing we fight about the most, or we argue about, is just communication. Sometimes, you know, he's more of an introvert and I'm a, like, let's talk about it. Let's get it all out there. Let's, you know, and he just wants, you know, he's more reserved with his feelings. What's harder, raising teens or staying married? Ay. Yo, and these questions, these are cute. Well, right, at least I can say this now. My kids are 13 and 12. And raising them hasn't been, I wouldn't say it's been extremely difficult or anything, right? There are moments where I want to just be like, ah. But for the most part, it's been a joy raising my kids, if I'm being honest. And I attribute a lot of that to kind of like really pouring into them when they were younger. I think a lot of parents have issues with getting their kids to kind of chime in or being rude or whatever. But for me, or when I say chime in, I mean like help out with stuff and chores around the house. But for me, and I feel like I've mentioned this a lot on the channel, when my kids were younger, and I would say I think I started this around when my son was 6, if not younger than that, and then I did it with my daughter. I got them to start doing chores. So I think with my son, I started with getting him to clean the table, like to wipe the table. So I would tell him, wipe the table after we finish eating, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, most of the time I had to go back in and do it myself. And that was almost every time. But in my head, I'm like, well, let me just invest this time in teaching him something and being patient. So, we would do that over and over and over again. And then from the table, he graduated to the dishes, rinsing out the dishes and putting them in the dishwasher, and we would have to do that over and over again. And then we started doing that with laundry. And I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to laundry and folding and putting my clothes away and just cleanliness in general. So I would make it fun. We would, sing songs. Oh my God, we had a song, mess everywhere I look. I look there, mess. I look there, mess. And then we start dancing. I get them dancing and then we start like literally jumping around. Mind you, Bo, my husband, is like the quiet one and we are chaotic. We're jumping all over the house, dancing, mess everywhere. I look, so then they would start cleaning, right? So that's really how I got my kids to start participating and helping out, to the point where, when my daughter became old enough, she started taking over the table and then he was doing the dishes. And then, she started doing a little bit of the dishes more. And then when they were old enough, they started taking turns. So one does the dishes, and then the other one will do the counters, make sure all the counters are done. And they both do their own laundry on their own. A lot of times my daughter's like, Mommy, do you need help with your laundry? And this didn't happen overnight. It's because I invested my time in them from when they were younger. I know a lot of mothers get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed. When I was working 2 jobs when my daughter was younger, and my son is only about 2.5 years older than her. So I was blogging and content creation, all of that full time, but also with a full-time job and raising a baby, with my husband. So I made the time because I don't know, something in me just told me that this was so important to do. And now I can sit back, relax, and chill. Like, not only was I doing that with cleaning up, but I was also doing that with cooking. So now my kids both cook, and I'm one of those parents that I'm like, my children will not be like, well, I'm the boy, I don't cook. No, my son can cook. My son can cook. He's convinced he can cook jollof rice. So stay tuned for that. I'm probably because we're both gonna try how to cook quinoa jollof rice. So, he's probably gonna watch me and maybe we'll do it together, whatnot. But both my kids can cook. Okay, last question. Why did I pull back from New York Fashion Week this season? Interesting. Honestly, I was tired. It's really that simple. I'm tired. I'm tired of a lot of things, really, when I think about it. First of all, just building a brand on your own, being a designer and all of that. It's a lot of work, right? And at the same time, too, I am still very much dedicated to Odd by Monica, right? This is my platform. This is where I get to connect with everybody. This is my baby. This is what I've been doing for years and years now. And I love it. and it's hard to juggle everything. Also, for me, I was just tired of feeling like I was begging to get a seat at the table, begging brands to dress me, begging brands to invite me to their shows. I didn't want to spend over $3,000 on a PR firm to get me in front of the brands that I want to work with, and with no guarantee that they would work with me, or no guarantee that I would get a seat at any of their shows. So, and I'm sure the price has gone up now, because I know back then well, when I last checked, it was still in the $3,000 range. So I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it at all. And let's be honest, Fashion Week is very expensive. It is very, 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 very expensive. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. Even if the brands are sponsoring you to get there, sponsoring you to be there or whatnot, you still have to pay for your Uber to get from the hotel. And then some brands do all of that, really. But, for the most part, it just still, to me, it adds up. Time-wise, it adds up. Unless I have unless I was paid to be there, which I wasn't this time around, I just wasn't going to spend the money. So, and like I said, most importantly, just getting tired of feeling like I was begging to be present or to be seen while promoting this brand. So I didn't bother reaching out to anybody, which normally I would. There's still always a few brands that I've reached out to them every season, and they've been so accommodating. And I just didn't want to do that. Actually, let me be very, very honest. The thought of running from one show to the other really made me gives me anxiety. Like running from one show to the other, changing in the cars, just the sheer exhaustion of it all. When I came back from Essence Fest, I was so tired, and I wasn't even, I wasn't going up and down as much. I did, but it was so tiring, and it took me almost a week and a half to recover from that. And I think maybe just the older I get, my bounce back isn't the same. I've realized that I can't do things the way I used to. In my head, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, my daughter was like, my hip, or my bum, or my lower back was hurting me. And I was just like, I don't know what I did. And she's like, Mommy, you're getting old. And I'm just like, I don't feel old. I feel the same. Mentally, I feel like I can do anything. But physically, the recovery is not a joke. It's not funny. Like, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. So remembering the fashion weeks that I did that were really good, really productive, went to a lot of shows. I remember I got a black car so I could change and everything. Like, there were instances where the car was following me to the next event because the traffic was so bad. Changing in the car, hurting yourself as you're contorting yourself to kind of just change real quick and onto. It's a lot, and it drains you physically. It is so draining physically and mentally that the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Not even in the slightest bit. I mean, how fun was this video? First of all, shout out to Walmart for sponsoring yet another video. Walmart has been a long-time partner, so I'm always grateful when they come back and we get to work together and just really prove that you don't have to kill the bang, basically, to look good. Like, all my outfits were head to toe Walmart. And I keep on saying this, in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025, there is absolutely no reason why you guys should not be dressed to the gods every day, because fashion is affordable. Yes, I am a luxury girly. I love a good high-low mix, but at the same time, these videos are so necessary just to show you guys that you can really elevate your style on a budget. Also, what did you guys think about the Q&A and the face V? Let me know with your comments below. If you guys are new here, welcome. You loved the video. You loved my vibe. Just go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you never miss a video. Because trust and believe, we will always show you. I said we. I will always show you how to elevate your style in real time. Also, if these once a week videos are not enough for you, just follow me on Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram, I post pretty much, I'm posting more now. So at least every other day, sometimes twice a day, you'll get content from me, and then you'll get stuff in the stories. You get to know me a little bit better. And then my lives are really good. So make sure you're tuning in. We do lives twice a month. So make sure you're tuning in. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, fun giveaways, the tea, my take on the state of fashion in general. And then on TikTok, we have our little crash outs, Monty style. So they're not really crash outs, but you know, but just kind of my opinions on what's going on in the world of fashion. And then a little get ready with me here and there and all the things. Also, darlings, don't forget to check out Awelo by Monica, because your girl's a designer. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you check out Awelo by Monica. Make sure you check out the Aja wallet and all the things. We are expanding, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, thank you to Walmart for sponsoring that portion of the video. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, all stars.